You guys want to see how to get a free meal? Step 1, make a bet with your friends you can't lose.
And how about the first person out of this group to get a shiny? Everyone else pays for it. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to pay for your meal tomorrow. Okay, I like that.
Step 2, win the bet.
How about I get this shiny lottery? Oh, yes. There we go, boys. That's what, I got it. Yes. All right, so now I'm the winner.
Step 3, go and get breakfast with your friends. Oh yeah. Well, that was good and successful and delicious and tasty. As we all know, trading has been announced in Pokemon GO. It's finally coming later on this week. In the time being, I figured we'd do a little bit of a Q&A from some questions, mainly on Twitter, regarding trading and clearing up some confusion because there was an article written by IGN, I'll leave the link to that in the description, that had a bunch of extra information on top of everything we saw yesterday with the Pokemon GO announcement, including some brand new eggs here in Pokemon GO. So we're gonna resume with you guys in like an hour or two. Can you guys recognize where we are right now? I'm sure you can. It's Dratini Park. Well, we were in the area and I figured we'd stop by, do a little lure sesh. The park, it's looking kinda lit for the water event. We're gonna get a little bit of water type spawns here and I'm very excited to rake that Stardust in because as we know now, we need Stardust. Save your Stardust for trading. You're gonna need it. Star Piece is going down right now for that reason. Have I got my streaks today? I have not, 5 days straight, dope. Now quickly, what we're gonna do is walk around this park, do like a maybe 30-minute lure sesh, get a little Pokemon, get a little bit of spawns, rake in some Stardust, and answer some questions you guys had on Twitter regarding trading in Pokemon GO. Again, we're having like a little bit of a Q&A here, just kind of going over some stuff that I wanted to specify on and go over to make sure that everyone is 100% clear about what is coming out later on this week. We all gotta be ready for trading because, again, it is one of the biggest updates to come to Pokemon GO because it's not just trading, it's the friend system, it's a lot of things. And it's also shelter spawns. Let's get this lured up. Question number 1 is from Andrew T. What happens if you have 9 eggs? Will Alolan eggs force in or are you not eligible? My egg inventory always seems to be full. Will there be a separate menu for special eggs? And we have a nice little lantern to catch here. I'm assuming if that happens where you've got 9 eggs and you do get that 7km egg from a friend from a gift, it will most likely just kind of hang out there. And that gift, that 7km egg, will probably just stay in that gift and you won't be able to collect it until you free up egg space. I would assume. Otherwise, you'd completely waste an Alolan egg and that would suck. Hey Cakes, can you trade regionals? Yes, it was announced that regionals can be traded, but they're traded as a special trade, which means it's going to be significantly more Stardust than a normal trade. So yes, you can trade regionals, you can trade shinies, you can trade legendaries, and you can trade Pokedex editions, but they are all going to cost significantly more. There's a shoulder than a normal trade, and you saw in the example it was 1 million Stardust for a trade for 2 legendaries. I'm assuming one was Pokedex or they both were Pokedex. It's 1 million. I don't know or think it's going to be 1 million for every single special trade, but that was just kind of an example of how expensive those trades can get. So yes, you can trade regionals, but if it's a Pokedex regional, it's gonna cost. Hannah, if you had to pick one Alolan Pokemon to receive as a gift, which one would it be and why? I've said it before and I will say it again. My favorite Alolan, definitely Vulpix. It's gotta be Vulpix. Alolan Vulpix and Alolan Ninetales are just gorgeous looking. So if any of you guys send me a gift, try your hardest to send me an Alolan Vulpix. I'll love you forever. Oh, that Murkrow to spawn. I was really hoping to click that. Okay, and I had a lot of Stardust here anyways, whatever. Awesome, are they actually gonna change IVs for trading Pokemon? They better not, because that is a terrible idea. Yes, along with the Pokemon CPs, the Pokemon IVs, this is confirmed by the way, the IVs will be randomly changed throughout the trade. Obviously, if you have a better friendship level with that person, you're gonna get a higher IV than you would if you had a lesser friendship level with that person. So for this reason, I would definitely not recommend trading 100% IV Pokemon or high IV Pokemon because that person will probably not get the same IVs that you traded them with. Now, why did Niantic do this, do you ask? It's to help with spoofing. Spoofers. I know you guys are out there. I know you guys are enjoying. You're kind of a big liability here when it comes to trading in Pokemon GO. You guys are kind of a problem. Spoofing is the #1 problem here in Pokemon GO when it comes to trading, and they had to find a way to balance trading so that spoofers didn't destroy the system. So to do that, the CPs and the IVs get jumbled. So you can't, as a spoofer, go and spoof to a 100% IV Pokemon and then trade that to a friend or another spoofer. You basically can't build up teams of 100% IVs through trading, through spoofing. Also for people who sell Pokemon or sell accounts or sell Pokemon by trading it, you can't sell someone a 100% IV Pokemon. There can't be some sort of like trade sell economy because that's just kind of like, that's against Niantic's terms of service. So, you know, they had to prevent that too. So the reason behind IVs being jumbled is just logistics on the back end of hopefully preventing systems, illegitimate systems from entering in Pokemon GO and entering into the community. It's basically just a safety precaution, and if it makes you mad, it's probably because you're part of the issue. Okay, we're gonna answer one more question while we're sitting here, then we're gonna move to the next spot. Lynette50, how do you think trading will work with regionals, and do you think Niantic will add Stardust to the in-game shop to get more money from us? So obviously regionals weren't specified when it comes to special trades, but Pokédex editions do count as special trades, and I'm assuming if you're gonna trade someone a regional, it's because it's not in their Pokédex, or their regional is not in your Pokédex, so you're trading for the Pokédex value of that regional. Which means, if you do trade regionals and it's not in the Pokédex, it is a special trade, it's gonna cost a lot of Stardust. Now a good point there is, will Niantic add Stardust into the in-game shop? No, they will not, because that makes trading like a pay-to-do system, and although it would make them a ton of money, yes, it makes sense on the business side, it's not fair to us, that's not fair remotely, you can't do that. They won't do that. They won't add Stardust to the in-game shop, they won't ever make you purchase Stardust. That is something you will solely have to grind for in-game. Now obviously if you buy a lot of raid passes and do a lot of raids, essentially you are buying Stardust that way, and also with the star pieces. So there are ways for you to purchase Stardust, but you have to grind for it. They're not just gonna give it to you. But that opens up the question of, will Niantic ever add more ways to get Stardust in Pokemon Go, because now Stardust is very, very valuable. It's very important because not only does it power up your Pokemon, but it allows for you to use one of the core features of this game and of all of the Pokemon games, trading. And you need a lot of Stardust to do trading if you're planning on trading anything big when it comes to, again, Legendaries, Shinies, and Pokedex editions, which are the ones that you're gonna wanna trade for, right? So now in my opinion, Niantic is currently tasked with adding more ways to gain more Stardust in Pokemon Go, and they have been doing. If you guys haven't noticed, a lot of these events lately have been Stardust based. Right now, all of these water type Pokemon I'm catching already have a 3-time Stardust boost, plus the star piece down too. I've gone up like a couple 100,000 Stardust in the past week because I've just been grinding the water type event. Niantic will add ways for you guys to get Stardust easier in game, but you have to work for it. You can't just expect it to land in your account. You gotta grind. 1,350 Stardust for catching this Octillery. That is why you can rake up the Stardust right now. So we do need more ways of getting more Stardust because Stardust is becoming more and more important. Okay, next location, we're gonna move around. We're gonna see what else Dratini Park has spawning for us and visit an old friend. Oh, and if I didn't mention it, I'm sure you guys could already pick it up from this video, but the 7KM eggs, the brand new 7KM eggs coming to Pokemon Go will contain a Alolan Pokemon. The way you get a 7KM egg is from getting it from a gift from a friend. I will explain that in more detail in a second. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that you weren't getting clickbaited by the thumbnail and title because it should be about 7KM eggs. We're gonna talk about it. Rest in peace and respect to our man Pop Off right here, the Dratini Park OG. Also today, XXX Tentacion did pass away in Florida, so to all of his fans, condolences, to his family, condolences. That's just always really sad to see an entertainer pass away like that, so RIPs to XXX. Okay, I literally just said I'd talk about it, and yes, I'm inside of a barn right now for some reason. Let me grab this feed vest. So, the new 7KM eggs here in Pokemon Go. It was confirmed in an interview with IGN, the boy Andrew Goldfarb, my guy. Link in the description for that IGN article. They confirmed, talking with some people from Niantic about the brand new 7KM eggs in Pokemon Go, exactly what they are, how to get them, and what will be inside of them. So these new 7KM eggs will contain the Alolan Pokemon. Now it's unsure what exact Alolans are going to be in these eggs, but the only way to get these Alolans are through hatching these 7KM eggs, and then obviously we have Alolan Diglett and Alolan Golem, and Geodude and Graveler coming out this summer as a part of all those updates, which is exciting. But all of the other Alolans you can't get unless they're out of these brand new 7KM eggs. And like I said, the way to get the 7KM eggs is to become friends with someone through the trading and friends system. Then you go out into the world and you spin some Pokestops, and out of some Pokestops you'll receive gifts that you can't open yourself, but you can send to your friends. In these gifts, it will contain like a postcard from the stop that you sent it from, along with a special item. But these special items cannot be things like rare candies or TMs. They're not raid exclusive items, they're just like special items like 7KM eggs or hyper potions and stuff like that. So you send this gift on over to your buddy opens the gift, and voila, he gets a 7KM egg, and inside of the 7KM egg can be a randomized Alolan Pokemon. And that is how the 7KM egg system is going to work in Pokemon Go with this brand new trading update. So if you guys get some gifts, add all of your friends from all over the world, get some gifts, send them over, and have fun hatching those 7KM egg Alolan Pokemon, and tweet me when you do because I want to see what kind of Pokemon are hatching out of these eggs, because it's a brand new egg in Pokemon Go, this 7KM egg. I feel like it'll have like palm trees on it where the dots are. We could get real cool in Photoshop here. Okay, let me answer some questions too while I'm sitting inside of this barn because it's wind blocked, it's nice. There's straw that I could eat if I get hungry. Pokemon Go Berkshire Raids and More asks, how does it tie in with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? How does trading tie in with the brand new game? If you guys remember with Pokemon Go, let me get that whale alert. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, what? That is frustrating. GPS drift, what is good, my guy? Okay, Totodile. If you guys remember with the Pokemon Let's Go games, you can trade Pokemon between Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go. Well, you can send a Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go in order to have it in that game. That's trading. That's trading right there. That's literally the trading system in a different game. Well, from Pokemon Go to a different game. Also, very similarly to Pokemon Go, from Pokemon Let's Go, you can send a gift or a present to Pokemon Go that contains certain items, certain Pokemon, a brand new Pokemon, never seen before that can be like Gen 8. And they have that same exact system in Pokemon Go where you can send gifts to friends that contain Pokemon that you can only get out of those gifts, which are the Alolan. So it relates very, very similarly to Pokemon Let's Go and the whole trading aspect of both games. So it does really relate to the other game. Shaggy 1, when you trade and get a special egg, can you trade it back to the person once you hatch it? Honestly, I would assume so. I don't know about trading Pokemon back and forth. We have a question about that. We'll talk about that in a second. But if somebody gifts you a gift and you get a 7km egg and then you hatch, let's say, an Alolan rat out of that egg, I'm assuming you would be able to trade that Alolan rat over to the person who gave it to you or anyone else, really. Now, would that be considered a special trade since it's not technically a Pokedex, but it's a brand new skin or brand new type of Pokemon? We'll have to see on that. I would assume since it's technically not in that person's Pokédex as an Alolan, it would count as a special trade. But yes, I think you should be able to trade an Alolan to someone who just gave you an Alolan egg. John Rose Jr., this is a great question. Does it cost both players Stardust or just the player who starts the trade or accepts the trade? When trading Pokemon, it costs both players the same amount of Stardust for the trade. So if Jake and I are doing a trade for 1 million Stardust, we're both gonna have to pay that 1 million Stardust. And that Stardust, that goes back to the Niantic realm, the world, the fuzz in the air. But yes, both people pay the same amount of Stardust to make that trade happen. And I'm not sure if I agree with that, because if I'm trading someone a Tauros because they don't have it in their Pokédex, and they're trading me a Farfetch'd, which I have 1 million of, me having to pay 600,000 Stardust to give them Tauros and only get a Farfetch'd back, is it really worth it? I think that part of the system should be tweaked to make it more fair on people, especially if they're charging this much Stardust. It's an insane amount of Stardust. But with the information that we have for now, both players get charged, should be the same amount of Stardust per trade. I'm gonna go try to find a horse somewhere in these stables and ride it to our next location. Well, I didn't find a horse, but I found a gym that we could post up into, and you know exactly. You know what? Shiny Pupitar is actually gonna hold this down. That looks tight. Look at him, dude. Yes. I think this is my favorite shiny in Pokemon Go right now, like just entirely, and I have it, which I'm so excited about. Shiny that looks good. Okay, let's find some Pokemon. Welcome to my store. You guys want to trade? Taking 100% Sudowoodos for anything you could ever desire. I have Gen 8 Pokemon ready for 100% Sudowoodo. I've also got 1,000 shiny checks, including 2 Shielders and a Wilmer, and a couple more questions that I want to address regarding trading to clear up some confusion. Akshay, we got, how do you think the friend system for raiding is going to work? If suppose someone has a full raid party of best friends, is he supposed to get like 20 Premier Balls since each best friend might give you 4? No. So the way that system works, the bonuses do not stack. You do not get 15 balls if you've got a couple of best friends in a raid group with you. You get the bonus from the highest level friend that you have. So if you have a best friend and he gives you 4 extra balls, and you've got a good friend, that, or an ultra friend that gives you 2 balls, you're gonna get the bonus from the best friend. Those extra 4 balls will go towards your Premier Ball count and nothing else. Along with that attack bonus, you're not gonna get 18 times attack bonus. You're not gonna walk in with a Politoed and completely destroy a Kyogre in 4 hits. That's not how that's gonna work. Those rewards, they do not stack when you get into raid battles and when you do all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, but you know, it balances out the system. Matt Z, I see you all the time on Twitter, you're the homie. Do you need to use a special item in order to trade, like a pass to raid? I'm not sure if you're a poet, but that did rhyme pretty nicely. So the big reason behind using Stardust, I think, is because Niantic did not want to have to implement a certain place to go and trade, or Pokecoins to have to trade, or implementing a trade pass. That would completely ruin the whole trading system because no one would want to pay for that. I mean, people would, but that'd be super screwed up. No, that wouldn't fly. That wouldn't fly with anybody. So no, instead of having a trade pass in game, they've got the Stardust system. You use your Stardust, something that you could grind up for free in game if you want to do it for free, or if you want to spend a little bit of money on raid passes and star pieces, you can do that too. It helps, trust me. But Stardust is free to grind. There's events happening in game that allow you to grind up like 3 times as fast. Use Stardust instead of having to buy trade passes. I find that to be the literal best way of going about this trading system without making it too unfair for the people trading, like you and I, the normal players. We don't want to have to pay to trade. Blind Timo, can you trade a Pokemon back to your friend after you got it from your friend 1 minute ago just so he can get it in his Pokedex? Basically, if I trade Jake, what do you not have in your Pokedex right now that I have?
Latias.
You don't have a Latias?
No.
Jake does not have a Latias. If I give Jake a Latias so he can get it in his Pokedex, can Jake just give me the Latias back because I want it? No, I don't think that's how that works, because in Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go, how trading works with that is you can trade a Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go, but you can never trade that Pokemon back to Pokemon Go. And I'm almost certain that's exactly how trading works in Pokemon Go. Once you trade a Pokemon to someone in Pokemon Go, that person cannot trade back that same Pokemon, and that Pokemon that you traded, I don't think it could ever be traded again. This is information that we'll confirm later on in the week, but for now, off of what I know, which, you know, being Mystic 7 sometimes isn't 100% correct, no, you cannot trade the same Pokemon multiple times. Once you make the initial trade,
It's done. It's final, okay? No trade backs, no take backsies, no receipts.
Jesse, do you think the friendship feature will lead to full-on PvP? This is an interesting question and a question that I'm very interested in. I hope, man, I hope anything we see in game will lead to PvP. That's all I want in this game. That's all this game needs is PvP. Trading's cool, but like, we need battles. I feel like the whole best friend feature will 100% absolutely factor into the PvP feature. Now, how would that work? I need time to sit down and think about that because my mind is in a million different places and PvP is not one of them because trading is coming out in a couple days. But to simply answer the question, yes, I do 100% think that maybe not the trading feature, but the friends list feature will factor into the whole PvP feature once it hopefully comes out in-game soon. Now, last question we'll answer here and then we are dipping. James Pictures, why aren't you able to trade over far distances? I have a stepbrother that lives far away from me and I can't trade with him because I barely see him. This one's pretty simple and pretty self-explanatory. You have to be within range of someone to trade. It wouldn't make sense to be trading from across the world because then people can really set up online economies where you pay someone to trade a Pokemon or you pay for a Pokemon. That system just wouldn't work. It'd start looking like the CSGO skin system where there'd be like sites for trading and battling and buying Pokemon. Maybe not battling, but like buying Pokemon. Also, this is Pokemon Go. Go, get out and go. So getting out, going, meeting up with your community. This is made to be, the trading update is made to be a community tool. It's to help fuel the community, to help people get out and interact more. That's what Niantic wants to see. They want the community aspect of the game to be heightened by this update, and that's exactly what's happening. You have to be close to someone to trade with them because it makes sense. If you're gonna trade, if I want to trade with Jake, I'm gonna walk up and trade with him. I'm not gonna like, call him up and be like, hey, let's trade Pokemon. That's just not how this is gonna work. Only because Pokemon Go is bringing their own little Pokemon Go twist into the trading system to make it work in the game so that the game doesn't break. It's all these updates that seem like they're limiting trading or they're making trading not fair is so that the game doesn't break. And then not to mention, spoofers, that would make spoofing trading the easiest thing to do in game, which is not something we want to happen. All right, we're closing shop. Oh man, close to the day, people. Sorry, trading's over. We got snacks. We're car washing up right now. Getting the car washed because, again, we're in the process of selling it. Jake's working on that. I do want to shout out the boy Javi, though, from Octopia. Good man. So we're grabbing a quick wash, grabbing some snacks, and then heading to dinner with Poppy Mystic, Father Mystic, or my dad. We're actually getting Texas Roadhouse, which would be fire. And we've got 3 more questions to answer. Yo. Javi, we appreciate it, bud. So Jake is getting his car from Nissan because he had to drop it off. We've got 3 more questions I want to answer. We've got 3 more points I want to go over before we end off today's video. First, I gotta wait for Jake though, because he's grabbing the vehicle. We gotta drive to my dad's house and get some dinner. It's Jake. Yeah, it's Jake. Hey.
I want to know like a surgeon.
Okay, we made it. I literally just recorded this entire thing, but we're doing it again, talking about the last 3 questions. The last 3 questions we have regarding trading in Pokemon Go. I'm gonna answer these on top of my dad's truck. I hope he doesn't mind, and while Jake's kind of doing his thing in the background. Random Kid YouTube, will you always have to pay Stardust when trading? Yes, I would assume that trading is always gonna require Stardust here in Pokemon Go. I couldn't think of any other way that would make more sense than using Stardust. I know, guys, using a lot of Stardust, it's hard to do because Stardust is hard to gain. I could not see Niantic changing the system from Stardust to something else. And remember, the better friends you are, the less Stardust it costs. So just get your friend levels up and grind these events. Nightmare123 asks, will you be adding, oh, there's a 4 in there too. Will you be adding any of your fans? Now, this is a question that myself and all of the other YouTubers are getting a lot because we have 200 total friend space on the friends list. I don't know if I said that in this video, but you do have 200 total. I know a lot of people, but I don't have 200 IRL friends that play Pokemon Go, so I've got a lot of room to add you guys. And honestly, I haven't really figured out how I'm gonna do that because obviously there's more than 200 of you watching. Thank God, otherwise I'd be in trouble. But I'm debating maybe like, I'll do maybe giveaways for friend list spots, or if you meet me in person, I'll add you as a friend. I don't really know, and technically trading isn't even here yet, so I've got a couple days to figure it out. There's like 2 more things I still need to talk about with you guys, but first, we need to get some food. Just So it's looking like this might be one of the last times that I see this car. You guys haven't seen it in the videos in forever because it's been in the bay this entire time and we've been traveling, but the beautiful GT500, the Shelby, my baby, my dream car, it's going away, it's gone. It's L, goodbye. Jake is in charge of getting rid of it, so Jake.
Actually,
yeah?
You have to be here when we sell it, so.
All right, so this is not it, but this is, we're covering it up and I will no longer be driving it, so. I love you, and good luck with your next owner.
Got a lot of Pokemon in that car.
Oh my god. I am full after that one. You ever have a meal and walk out and decide you're just not going to eat for the next week? It's about where I am right now. There's like 2 more things I want to bring up on my agenda of things I want to talk about regarding trading, and we're going to do a live stream probably tomorrow going over just chatting it for like 2 hours about everything about trading, so keep an eye out for that. But a main issue here with this new trading system is the multiple account issue, people using more than 1 account. Now you're going to obviously have a massive advantage if you use 2 accounts because you could get the extra Premier Balls, you could get the discounted Stardust cost, you can get all of the bonuses you get, you could send each other gifts, right? Like you can get the Alolons. I'm not sure how Niantic is going to balance that or prevent that, and they might not be able to at all, but that is a big issue that's going to be happening here in Pokemon Go, the multiple account issue with trading. I don't know how to fix. And a technicality here, when they say once per day for these special trades, it's not once every 24 hours, it resets at midnight like the streaks. And everything else we're going to be covering in the live stream. We're going to be sitting down again, talking for a very long time, discussing this entire trading update, so keep an eye on the channel for that. It should be up tomorrow. We should be doing that tomorrow sometimes around like maybe noonish. Yeah, that's trading in Pokemon Go with the specifications, clarifications on trading in Pokemon Go. Now in the comments, guys, let me know, what do you think of this trading update? Is it bringing you back to the game? Do you think you'll even use it? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will most likely be a live stream again tomorrow around noon. Tune in for that. Peace out.